everybody, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. You join us here at a very wet and miserable Broadfield Stadium as we prepare to take on Newport County tomorrow afternoon. To kick off the show, we're going to show you the highlights of the last game we played against Newport County here at the Broadfield Stadium, where a certain Dom Telford was on the score sheet, but he did have a slightly different haircut. Yep, a very entertaining 1-1 draw when Newport last visited the Broadfield Stadium. Let's hope that Dom Telford is on the score sheet again, but in the red colour this time, not the other colour, obviously. Dom was on absolute fire last year for Newport, and I'm sure he's looking forward to taking on some of his old teammates. As you all know, Lewis Young has been in charge of the lads this week, and he got them out on the pitch this morning as they prepared to face Newport tomorrow.
Morning, how are you? You did.
Unlucky.
One, two, three, four. That's a One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go. 11, 12. Nice. 6. Get out, Charles. 9, 10. I've got it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Come on. Same as all. Same as all. Tennis, you're on the tennis. To go, ready? Go on, give it to me. Let's start again. No. Start again then. 8, 9, 10. Well done. Take a line, mate. Champions, you get the moment in or did you get the moment? Oh, you got the moment. I got promoted. You get it. Look this space I'm calling. Yes, please. Look all this. Look all that. Look it. We get a bit of coverage of like the box. There is
Jason Dom! Yeah, that's the run, Randy! Yeah! Don't still move, see what I mean? Run it, Caleb! Let's see what you've got! Yeah! Get after it! Well done! Sorry, well done.
As I mentioned just before, Lewis Young has taken charge of the team after Kevin Betsy and Dan Machici left the club. Earlier on, I caught up with co-chairman Preston Johnson as he gave an update on the new managerial search. Preston, thank you for joining us. We're only a day away from our game against Newport County, which means it's almost been a week since Kevin and Dan left us. How has this week been in terms of off the pitch?
Off the pitch, I think it's actually been quite a bit better. Everything that I saw in training Monday, from what I've heard from others, I've been in meetings the last few days in London, but the energy's up, the passion is up, the attitude's changed, which is what they needed, honestly, first and foremost. And then that should translate to our actual performance on the pitch. And so we have to give Lewis and the rest of the staff here currently a lot of credit, as well as the experienced players that have stepped up and, kind of taken upon themselves to rejuvenate the group, and obviously we're extremely excited about what we have going and confident we're going to get 3 points tomorrow against Newport.
Yeah, and I suppose fans, obviously, they have their, not necessarily concerns, but they have their questions on Twitter, don't they? And they always want to know, how the process of finding a new manager is, but it's not one that can be rushed, is it? You have to take your time and you have to evaluate. There's plenty of people that you need to interview.
Yeah, it's an important decision that obviously when you're sitting in 24th on the table, we have to make sure we get right, so we can't rush it. We want to do our due diligence, and it's important to note that Lewis Young is our manager right now, and he's someone that we trust in, and the players absolutely believe in, are going to play for, and he's going to be as much a part of our process in finding a permanent appointment as anybody else. And so, not something we can rush. I know fans want a new name, and it's just part of the hype and the discussion and everything. ASAP. Lewis and the squad are going to get us 3 points tomorrow against Newport. We're going to reassess everything, move forward with our diligence and our process, and then make the decision when we feel like we're ready to.
Yeah, I suppose when you look at it, you could actually consider Lewis a candidate. Should he win on Saturday? Should we win on Tuesday and progress through to the knockout stages of the Papa John's Trophy? There's no reason why Lewis can't be in the running for this. And even if he isn't, he's been a great servant for the club as a player and as a coach. But I'm sure you have seen that in training, haven't you? The respect that the players give to Youngie and the rest of the coaching staff.
Absolutely. That's probably the biggest takeaway from this week is just the change in the demeanor and attitude from the players, which I think stems from that. And then to Lewis's credit, look, we want to have an actual interview process with him like we would any other potential appointment. We also wanted him to focus on the game this week completely, so we haven't talked to him directly about that yet. And we said, hey, just let's catch up after we get our 3 points against Newport. So that's the current standing. Can't wait to talk to him in more detail, see how we play, and obviously just do everything else we need to make sure Crawley Town Football Club has the best person in place for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think it would be good for Lewis to have that, get that process, because obviously he did step in as interim at the end of last season, but that was under very different
possible.
Yeah, it was very difficult circumstances. You could argue the season was almost done. We would have had to win every game possible to reach those playoffs. So I suppose for you it must be nice to finally give him the chance that he deserves under slightly better circumstances, which gives him a fair shot.
I've seen a few people bring that up. So and someone that deals with sample sizes and data, and I was doing sports betting in the past, those 4 games, or was it 5?
4 or 5, yeah.
Like such a small sample, and they were so insignificant considering the scenario, considering I believe our playoff hopes were sub 0.1%. If we had won all the remainder game, we weren't really playing for anything. It was such an awkward spot. I'm not going to count those against him. We see what he does in training. We see what he's done as an assistant the last year, and then this. So he's got an opportunity too, and he's even told that to us. He's like, I go out and get a couple wins, he earns it, right? So we're excited to see what we can do, and we're on his side. Everyone's on each other's side. It's one thing we spoke about as a group last week is how do we come together and find a way to have success together, whether it's players being accountable to players, ownership being accountable for ownership in the club, staff being accountable to staff. We all have to find ways to, just kind of the no bullshit. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to swear on these Talk of the Towns. It might have been my first time, but that's honestly what we've been saying. No more victims mentality. We just have to go out and win and get results, and that's what we're here to do. Yeah,
and I suppose the message to the fans is, sit tight. It could take some time, but in the end, whether it be Youngie or not, whether we appoint someone new, it's going to be the right fit for the football club. And no one's sitting here. We're not sitting here not doing anything, are we? We're just assessing all options.
Exactly. You got it.
Cool. Thanks for joining us.
Of course. Thanks.
Yeah, as Preston mentioned there, the spirits have been very high in camp. Youngie's done a fantastic job at getting the lads ready for our game against Newport tomorrow. While they were here training at the stadium, we decided to start a new segment called Quick Opinions, where we just posed a couple of slightly controversial opinions to the lads to, get them thinking, and I think we accidentally caused quite a few arguments on this one. The first question we posed was Messi or Ronaldo, and then the one that caused the most arguments was, if you have a bar of chocolate at home, are you putting it in the fridge or are you putting it in the cupboard? There is a correct answer, and it is cupboard, and anyone that says fridge is wrong, but it got the lads talking, and it made for some really funny content. You can check it out now.
Anyone who puts it in the fridge is a psychopath. Cupboard.
Anyone that puts it in the cupboard is a psychopath. Fridge.
Fridge chocolate.
All day long.
Yeah.
Come on. Always been cupboard.
Never been fridge.
What?
Always been cupboard. That's what it is.
It's fridge.
Cupboard in the shop.
It's fridge. It's fridge.
Why are they not stored in the shop then?
Cupboard.
For me, I have the heating on this, so it's gotta go in the fridge.
Yeah.
I like the heating on, I like to be warm.
Cupboard. If it was supposed to be in the fridge, you'd buy it from the fridge in the shop. Thank you.
Cupboard. Yeah. Cupboard. Chaz.
Fridge. Fridge.
Got to be fridge.
Has to be fridge.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Nico's a cupboard, so. Yeah. Nico's a cupboard.
Nico's a weirdo.
What do you reckon? In the fridge or in the cupboard?
Oh, the
Chocolate.
chocolate, does it belong in the fridge or the cupboard? Do you know what? I've got time for both. I like it to melt in your mouth sometimes I like a bit of crunch.
Fridge. Fridge for me, cupboard for the old woman.
So that's in the cupboard then?
Under
the stairs.
Yeah. I only sneak it in the fridge now and again.
Fridge in the summer, cupboard in the winter. That's law.
Cupboard. Fridge hurts my teeth.
Put it in the cupboard.
Fridge is better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's got to be in it.
Yeah.
Under my bed.
Under your bed.
Chris, cold.
Chocolate. Fridge.
I think it's better in the fridge, but I actually go freezer. Ooh. Is that what you say?
Seriously, anyone who puts it in the fridge.
It's a freezer.
You're a psycho.
Yeah.
You are 100% a psycho.
What do you like it?
In the cupboard, like a normal human.
Like a human.
Seriously, someone lock him up. We're locking him in the fridge.
Square.
Fridge.
Got to be.
Where did you say that?
I don't mind. You're a psychopath if you say fridge.
That's it.
See? It is 50-50.
The correct answer is fridge.
Wrong, he's wrong. He's a liar. Don't trust him.
Yeah.
You know what? Hard chocolate.
Big question.
Oh! Fridge.
What do you reckon?
Why?
Don't want it melting in the
What do you reckon this question, Leon?
moldy.
Chocolate, fridge or cupboard?
Fridge.
Fridge? It's gotta be.
Are you sure?
See?
Fridge.
Depends when I'm gonna eat it, though, innit? Huh?
In a day.
I'm gonna eat it in a day.
Yeah, like tomorrow. You'll have it tomorrow for lunch.
I haven't opened it on a
No.
Come.
Yeah, good.
Chocolate, fridge or cupboard?
Don't eat chocolate, so I usually have broccoli and that goes in the fridge.
But if you were some chocolate,
If I was to have chocolate, I'd eat it before it got to the cupboard or the fridge.
fair enough.
No. Chocolate, fridge, or cupboard.
Would you put it in the fridge or would you put it in the cupboard? If you bought some chocolate, would you keep it in the fridge or cupboard?
If it's not open, put it in the cupboard. It's open in the fridge.
Does it go in the fridge or the cupboard? Chocolate.
Cupboard. Is that it?
Yes.
Oh, is that it?
That's it. It's causing a bit of debate.
Cupboard.
In the cupboard.
Yeah, as you can see, a lot of controversial opinions in there. Pretty much all the lads had their say, and it was pretty 50-50, I think. So look forward to bringing that segment back next week. Newport, they're a little bit similar to us at the moment. They've just sacked their manager also. You know, they currently sit 18th in the table. I think it's going to be a really interesting game tomorrow. Obviously, two sides who have got fresh faces in the dugout, and both sides are in need of 3 points. Let's check out how our visitors tomorrow got on in their last game. Yep, that's all we've got time for in this evening's show. We hope you enjoyed it. It would be great to see as many of you possible down here tomorrow afternoon at the Broadfield Stadium to cheer on Lewis and the lads. We need all the support we can get, and I'm sure that they will be giving you a performance that warrants your voice and warrants your support. But there's only one thing left to say. Come on, you Reds.